Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's performance of the St. Croix Prep 5th and 6th grade bands. We are excited to show you what we have been working on since November. First up is the 5th grade band. Tonight, we begin with a demonstration of several exercises from our book. Mr. DeCaro forgot to include the first one in the program.
It will show a simple scale pattern in two different kinds of articulation. Staccato, which tells us to play the notes lightly and separate them, and tenuto, which tells us to play the notes smoothly and connected.
We have been working on playing Long, Long Ago as a duet, which means there are two different parts. We will play it twice so you can hear the flutes, trumpets, clarinets, saxophones, and horns on the melody the first time, then the low brass on the melody the second time.
The last piece from our book is the theme of the Mahler Symphony 1. In this piece, we have practiced playing our instruments softly and performing the music as a round. We all play the same parts but start at different times.
We started working on the Argonauts several weeks ago. It sounds bold and full of adventure. We have combined lots of skills to learn this piece. We play loud and soft, staccato and legato, and we have constantly focused on good counting to keep our different parts together.
Before we play our last piece, I have just a couple quick things to say. First, thank you for coming to the concert tonight. My name is James DeCaro, and it has been terrific fun to work with both the 5th grade group that's on stage now and the 6th grade group that you'll hear in a few minutes. In your program tonight, there was an insert for the upcoming Ignite Prep event, and I encourage all of you to check that out and consider supporting the school, whether through that or in other ways. The work that is done here would not have been possible over the last, I've been here 19 years, without the generous and gracious support of the prep community. So thank you so much for the past years, and please continue to help us do great work here. This last piece that 5th grade is going to play, Aunt Rhodey's Diet, is a bit of a drama. And we'll have several students read the narration in between playing various tunes that are typically incorporated in the first year of playing, just in a beginner band book. I think the narration makes it a lot of fun, and I'll just relate from a couple weeks ago. We were playing this piece is kind of the sequel to another piece, Aunt Rhodey's Appetite, that the 6th grade group this year played last year. And the day that we read it in here, just so we could get a sense of the story, the kids just are hanging on every word because they want to know more of the story, and then they're able to play the music like the first time through and get most of the sense of it. And I think that's what makes it fun. Like when you sit down and read a book that you just enjoy, you're not struggling to sound out the words or know what they mean. This was just a treat to work on, and the class was very attentive for the whole time we worked on it, trying to make sure we fit it in before the end of the day. So I hope you enjoy our rendition of Aunt Rhodey's Diet.
Once upon a time, there was a nice lady who loved animals. She lived on a farm. Everyone knew her affectionately, Aunt Rhodey. Yes, indeed, Aunt Rhodey was a nice lady, but she had one problem. At times she couldn't control her appetite. Once she even tried to cook the old gray goose for her holiday dinner.
It was fortunate that she came to her senses in time, because Aunt Rhodey was a kind person who loved animals with all her heart. Her favorite animal was a little lamb that belonged to a girl named Mary. One day, Aunt Rhodey, Mary, and Little Lamb paid a visit to their neighbor, Pierre, the French pastry chef.
Pierre said, "Hello, Aunt Rhodey. Hello, Mary. Hello, Little Lamb. I have some wonderful news. I just learned that I have won a gold medal for making the best hot buns in the whole wide world. My picture will be on the cover of Pastries Illustrated."
We're all so proud of you, said Aunt Rhody. Listen, I have this fantastic idea about how we can celebrate Pierre's gold medal and do something good for stray animals at the same time. Let's have a hot cross bun eating contest. If someone wants to enter, all they gotta do is adopt one animal.
This idea is wonderful, Pierre exclaimed. Let us begin quickly.
So Aunt Rhody made some posters, and before she knew it, hundreds of people entered the contest. After all, who could resist the best hot cross buns in the whole wide world?
After hearing how many people had entered, Pierre howled, "Oh, ho, ho, ho. I would have to bake 1,000 hot cross buns. It will take a cozy night."
That night, Aunt Rhody walked over to Pierre's house. It was a beautiful evening. The stars seemed to twinkle brightly as diamonds, but there was one problem. Aunt Rhody didn't know it, but she was sleepwalking. The day of the contest arrived, but when Pierre went to his kitchen to get the hot cross buns, they were all gone. Pierre was in panic. Just then, some loud noises were heard in the distance. It sounded like footsteps of a huge beast.
But it wasn't a beast at all. It was an enormous Aunt Rhody. Overnight, she had been sleepwalking. She went into Pierre's kitchen and ate all 1,000 of his delicious hot cross buns. She got so full, she turned into Aunt Rhody-saurus.
Poor Aunt Rhody. We have to help her. Wait, I know what to do. I have a friend who lives in the next county. His name is Heinrich the Hypnotist. Let's take Aunt Rhody-saurus there to get hypnotized out of sleepwalking and eating too many hot cross buns.
Finally, they arrived. They rang the doorbell. When Heinrich the hypnotist answered, Aunt Rhody-saurus couldn't fit through the doorway, so he had to come outside. He was holding a gold watch on a chain. He got up on a ladder and swayed the gold watch before Aunt Rhody-saurus's eyes, back and forth, back and forth. Softly, he told Aunt Rhody-saurus, "You're getting very sleepy, very, very sleepy."
Rhodiosaurus fell into a deep sleep while she was standing. Heinrich whispered to her, "When you hear the Westminster chimes playing on my watch, you will wake up and you will never sleepwalk or eat too many hot cross buns ever again."
Hearing the chimes, Aunt Rhodiosaurus awakened. She yawned and rubbed her eyes, then said, "I feel just wonderful. I'm so refreshed, but I am a little hungry." Everyone gasped. Then she said, "Would someone mind preparing a nice wedge of lettuce with a teaspoon of cottage cheese for me?" Everyone cheered for Henrique and Aunt Rhodiosaurus.
By the time she returned home, Aunt Rhody was her former self again. Her friends were all at the farm to meet her. Aunt Rhody was happy to see them and the animals they had adopted. "Let's all celebrate," everyone shouted. So everyone joined hands, laughed, and danced to Pierre's Peppy Polka.
What do you call a group of killer whales with a few instruments? An orchestra.
What's a mummy's favorite type of music? Rap music.
Why did the invisible woman turn down the job offer? She didn't see herself doing it.
A fly goes up to a human and says, "Do you have any food?" The human says, "No." The next day, the fly comes back and says to the human, "Do you have any food?" The human says, "No." The next time you come and ask for food, I'm going to swat you with newspaper. The next day, the fly comes to the human and says, "Do you have any newspaper?" The human says, "No." The fly says, "Do you have any food?"
How do snails fight? They slug it out.
Why did the band get struck by lightning? Because they had too many conductors.
What's a rooster's least favorite musician?
Bach.
What's a trombone player's favorite part of the playground? The slide.
Why was the king only a foot tall? Because he was a ruler.
Why did Cinderella get kicked off the football team? 'cause she ran away from the ball.
Why do you never see elephants hiding in trees? 'Cause they're so good at it.
Let's give them all a hand.
Sixth grade has 3 terrific pieces to share with you tonight. Our first piece is American Frontier, a cheerful tune that will show off each section of our band and our work to play in time and in balance with everyone.
Nottingham Castle is one of my favorite pieces because of the cheerful melody. The piece isn't all sunshine, though. The fun melody alternates with darker, gloomy section.
before the last piece introduction and we finish out the concert, I just want to thank all of you for coming tonight and thank those at 6th Grade Prep who've helped make things like this possible. I appreciate Corey Shim managing things in the PAC and my music teacher colleagues and others who are listed in the program. It really takes a lot of people coming together, and that's part of just what makes band neat, because it takes all the parts that are up here. And I bet for those of you tonight that are seeing your first 6th grade band concert alongside a 5th grade concert, you see students start to play some different instruments. We've got a greater variety. You start to hear more parts across the ensemble instead of playing mostly in unison or just one or two parts. And that continues until students get to be in our wind ensemble in the high school, where there are times when every member or nearly every member of a 40-some person ensemble is doing their own thing, and you have to rely on everyone. And I don't know about you, but I've been part of very few 40-person teams that operate as efficiently as they possibly could, and yet that's how the music sounds good. You've got to have everyone operating at 100%. So hopefully, over the next years, you see the fruits of that effort, and even tonight, you see the growth from 5th grade to 6th grade as students develop those skills. Here's one last introduction before our last piece.
Our final piece, Dervis, is an exciting, fast-paced piece. Every section gets to play some melody, and we all worked on counting and playing off beats in this piece. Thank you for coming to our performance tonight.